Why do women keep falling for men who don't even value them? It's not love, it's not destiny, it's the way the human mind twists desire into an obsession. Before I break this down, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because the truth I'm about to share is raw, unfiltered, and it may just change how you see relationships forever. 1. The scarcity trap. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a woman texting a man she likes. She waits. Minutes turn into hours. No reply. Suddenly, her mind goes into overdrive. She wonders what he's doing, who he's with, why he hasn't replied. When his message finally pops up the next day, even if it's just, "Hey," her heart jumps like it's the most important text in the world. That's scarcity. When something feels rare, the human brain exaggerates its value. It doesn't even matter if the thing is truly valuable. The fact that it's hard to get makes it seem worth chasing. And this is exactly why women often fall for men who don't value them. These men don't offer their time freely. They're not quick with compliments. They don't pour out love consistently. Instead, they're unpredictable. And unpredictability feels rare. Here's the kicker. Safe doesn't always feel exciting. A man who shows up on time, calls regularly, tells her clearly how he feels. He offers stability. But stability can feel ordinary. On the other hand, the man who disappears for days, who doesn't explain himself, who acts like his attention is gold, he feels different. He feels rare, and rare feels precious. This is why women sometimes obsess over the man who doesn't treat them right. It's not because they're blind, it's because their emotions get tricked by scarcity. Their brain starts thinking, if his time is so hard to get, it must be valuable. But here's the cruel truth. Scarcity doesn't equal love. Just because someone gives less doesn't mean what they give is more special. Yet the mind keeps spinning that illusion. That's why women often chase harder when men pull away. The more he withholds, the more she believes his affection must mean something big. It's like looking at a diamond versus a stone. The diamond isn't useful in daily life. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. It doesn't keep you warm. But because it's rare, people crave it. That's how the mind works, and that's how some men trap women without even trying, by being scarce, by being inconsistent, by being hard to get. So when you see a woman falling for a man who clearly doesn't value her, don't assume she's foolish. Understand she's caught in the scarcity trap. Her mind is exaggerating his worth just because he refuses to give himself easily. And until she wakes up to that illusion, she'll keep believing his lack of effort makes him more valuable, when in reality it's the exact opposite. 2. The intermittent reward addiction. Think of a slot machine in a casino. You pull the lever. Most of the time, nothing happens. But once in a while, the lights flash, coins drop, and you win. That moment of reward feels so strong that it keeps you playing, even though you're losing more than you're gaining. Now, here's the painful part. Many women experience the exact same cycle with men who don't value them. When a man is inconsistent, sometimes kind, sometimes cold, sometimes present, sometimes distant, he creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement. And this form of reward is one of the most addictive patterns in human behavior. It's stronger than steady love. It's stronger than predictability. Why? Because it keeps the mind guessing. And when the mind is guessing, the heart gets hooked. Picture a woman dating a man who ignores her texts for days. She feels hurt, confused, even angry. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, he shows up with a sweet message or spends one evening showering her with attention. That single act wipes away all the days of neglect. She clings to it thinking, see, he does care. But what she doesn't realize is she's now trapped in the reward cycle. The bad days hurt, but they make the rare good moments feel 10 times more powerful. It's like giving someone a sip of water in the middle of a desert. The person will think that sip is the most precious thing in the world, even though what they truly need is a steady stream. This is why women often stay loyal to men who don't truly love them. That one random smile, that one affectionate touch, that one rare compliment, it feels like a jackpot win, and she keeps chasing it, hoping it will come again. Now let's be clear, she's not addicted to him. She's addicted to the hope he creates. And that hope is fueled by inconsistency. A man who truly values her, who shows up every day, who makes her feel secure, doesn't create this roller coaster. His love is steady, and steady doesn't create the same adrenaline rush. But the cold man, the unpredictable man, he plays with her emotions in a way that feels almost like gambling. And here's the most dangerous part. This cycle convinces her to stay longer than she should. She tells herself, maybe he's just busy. Maybe he'll change. Look how sweet he was last week. That's the real him. She overlooks the bigger pattern, the neglect, the lack of respect, because the rare good moments shine so brightly. The truth is, women don't fall because they enjoy being mistreated. They fall because the inconsistency hijacks their emotions. It tricks their brain into valuing scraps of affection as if they're treasures. And until they break free from that cycle, they'll keep pulling the lever, waiting for another jackpot that never truly comes. 3. Confusing neglect with strength. Here's where the human mind plays its cruelest trick. Many women confuse neglect with strength. When a man doesn't text back right away, when he cancels plans without explanation, when he acts like she's not his priority, she doesn't always see it as disrespect. Instead, her mind twists it into a sign of power. Think about it. Society constantly teaches women that high value men are busy, hard to get, always in demand. So when a man acts unavailable, she tells herself he must be important. He must have options. He must be someone of worth. His lack of attention becomes proof of his supposed greatness. The irony? A man who truly has strength doesn't need to prove it by neglecting someone. But in her emotional world, his absence feels like dominance. And dominance can be intoxicating. Let's use a simple story. Imagine 2 men. One texts her good morning every day, asks how her day is going, makes time for her no matter how tired he is. The other barely replies, shows no effort, disappears for days, then comes back like nothing happened. The first man is steady, predictable, and safe. The second man, he feels like a mystery, like someone she has to work hard to keep. And mystery feels exciting. She convinces herself that his coldness is confidence. His indifference is independence. His distance is discipline. But let's be brutally honest. Neglect isn't strength, it's weakness. Because a man who truly values himself doesn't need to play games. He doesn't need to treat her badly to prove his worth. Real strength is clarity. Real strength is respect. Real strength is being able to show love without losing yourself. Yet many women mistake the opposite for power. This illusion is especially dangerous because it feeds her insecurities. When she sees his lack of attention, instead of questioning him, she questions herself. She thinks, maybe I need to be better. Maybe I need to look prettier, act cooler, try harder. In other words, his neglect makes her hustle for his approval. And the more she hustles, the more powerful he appears. It becomes a cycle. His carelessness increases her effort increases his perceived value. And here's the sad reality. Some men know exactly what they're doing. They understand that by holding back, by giving less, by acting like they don't care, they can make her chase harder. They weaponize neglect to create attraction. And for many women, that coldness becomes a test they feel they have to pass. But at the end of the day, neglect is just neglect. It's not confidence. It's not masculinity. It's not proof of worth. It's simply a lack of value for her. Yet until she learns the difference, she'll keep falling for the illusion. She'll keep confusing pain with passion, silence with strength, and distance with desire. 4. The ego test. Sometimes it's not love that keeps a woman chasing a man who doesn't value her. It's her ego. When he pulls away, ignores her, or shows indifference, something inside her says, "Why doesn't he want me? I'll make him see my worth." At that moment, it's no longer about him. It's about her proving herself. She turns his lack of attention into a challenge. Instead of walking away, she works harder. She dresses better, texts first, tolerates his mood swings, all hoping he'll finally notice. And if he gives her even a little bit of validation, she feels like she won the battle. But here's the trap. Once her ego is involved, logic disappears. She stops asking important questions like, does he respect me? Does he care about my happiness? Do his actions match his words? Those questions get replaced with just one: how do I win him? And men who don't value women often know this. They don't need to give much, just one breadcrumb of attention, and she feels like she's making progress. But in reality, he's not opening the door. He's dangling the key, keeping her locked in. I've seen women spend months, even years, trying to win validation from a man who never intended to give it. The more he withholds, the more she doubles down. It's like being stuck in a rigged game. No matter how hard she plays, the outcome never changes. Here's the truth. When love turns into a competition, no one wins. Because love isn't about proving your worth. It's about being valued without conditions. If a man doesn't see her worth from the start, her efforts won't change that. They'll only exhaust her, drain her energy, and deepen her attachment. The ego test is one of the hardest cycles to break because walking away feels like losing. But the real win isn't making him see her value. The real win is realizing she doesn't need to. 5. Mistaking drama for passion. Movies, novels, songs, they all glorify love as chaos. They paint passion as fire, heartbreak as proof of depth. So many women grow up believing that if it's not dramatic, it's not real. So when a man gives her highs and lows, makes her cry one night, laugh the next, she mistakes the roller coaster for passion. She tells herself this is what love should feel like: intense, wild, unpredictable. But here's the harsh truth. That's not passion, that's instability. Real love is calm. Real love is steady. But calm doesn't give the same adrenaline rush. So the unstable man feels more exciting. She clings to the drama because it feels alive. This is why so many women run from good men. The man who is kind, consistent, and steady feels boring, while the man who leaves her guessing feels addictive. She confuses the rush of anxiety with the spark of desire. She thinks his hot and cold behavior means he's passionate. In reality, it just means he's unreliable. Drama keeps her hooked because it triggers survival instincts. Her nervous system reacts to the ups and downs like danger, and danger makes the heart race. That racing heartbeat feels like love, but it's not. It's stress. This is one of the deepest reasons women fall for men who don't value them. They equate the storm with love. They think stability equals dullness. But true love isn't dull, it's peace. The problem is peace fees. Les foreign to someone used to chaos. Until she realizes that drama is not proof of depth, she'll keep mistaking pain for passion, and she'll keep running back to the very men who destabilize her. 6. The fear of being alone. Now let's face the final and most powerful reason: fear. The fear of being alone. Even when a woman knows a man doesn't value her, even when she feels drained, even when she cries more than she smiles, walking away feels harder than staying, because staying at least gives her the illusion of connection. Walking away feels like emptiness. Loneliness is heavy. It whispers, what if no one else wants me? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'll regret leaving him? Those fears can keep her stuck with someone who gives her nothing. Because the idea of being single feels scarier than being undervalued, and society doesn't help. Women are constantly told their worth is tied to being chosen, being wanted, being loved. So the thought of not having a man at all feels like failure. That fear convinces her to tolerate neglect, disrespect, even betrayal, just so she won't have to face the silence of being alone. But here's the painful truth. Being with someone who doesn't value you is lonelier than being single. Because you're not only alone, you're unseen, unheard, unappreciated. You carry the weight of someone else's neglect while still calling it love. Fear of being alone is powerful, but it's also a prison. It makes her settle for less, accept pain, and cling to men who drain her. The only way out is to realize that solitude isn't punishment, it's freedom. Alone doesn't mean unloved. Alone means space to rebuild, to heal, to meet someone who truly values her. But until she faces that fear, she'll keep holding onto men who give her crumbs. And she'll keep calling it love when really it's fear disguised as attachment. So here's the truth. Women don't always fall for men because they treat them well. They fall for men who spark emotion. Even when that emotion is unhealthy, scarcity, ego, drama, fear, it all plays a role. But once you see the cycle early. You stop confusing neglect with love. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, have you ever fallen for someone who didn't value you? I want to hear your story. Remember, real love doesn't drain you, it values you. Choose the kind of love that gives you peace,